So I'm going to show you in Animate today how to create a symbol like this and do a little improvisation on the design using star and other polygon star and gradient tool, as well as also to see how we can add a shadow using the and converting the element into a symbol. So let's begin. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an oval shape, but for that I first need to rename this as template, and I've kept this layer as locked because I don't want it to move. So because it's locked, I cannot draw anything on this, so I'm going to create another layer, and here I'm going to just rename it as icon. Now with oval tool selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the shape. Okay, but for that first I'm going to make the property reduce the opacity of this so I can create the shape. Okay, just unlock it for a while just to move it little here so I can see the shape properly. Lock it again, go to icon layer, and here what I want to do is I want to take the oval tool now, and I have to make sure that there is a color in the stroke and the opacity is 100%. All these adjustments can be done using properties panel. So just stretch out and create the shape. Now you want to see what is below, so you just reduce the opacity of the fill so you can see properly, and manually with the keyboard arrows on the keyboard you can just move this in the center. And once you're satisfied with the manual placement, now you can use also the free transformation tool to increase the size of the circle. Okay, so once you're happy with the shape, what you should do now is to move this. Okay, move this on the side so you can see the template as well as the shape that you have created. Just make sure that the opacity is back to 100 here, and you need to also fill a color here so to see your shape clearly, and remove the stroke. So I've removed the stroke. I don't need it because the shape doesn't have a stroke, but there is another stroke that I have to create, is for the inner circle. So for that I will again create an inner circle, but this time I have created so I have to delete this fill and keep the circle here. Okay, and then again manually adjust the spacing, and then now increase the size, because obviously in the reference it's one size bigger, or even you can increase it to 4. Okay, that's fine. So once you are happy with this, now what you need to do is you need to convert it into a object. Okay, so it doesn't merge with the shape here. Here also what you can do is you can convert it into an object, so both the shapes will not merge with each other. Now keep the selected and keep it on the side. Okay, now go back to the template. You want to see the colors, actual colors, and how it looks. So I'll just go to the properties and I'll increase the opacity again back to 100%. Now I have to create here a gradient. Okay, so for the gradient what I need to do is first I'll go to the color. I'll select the color panel from the windows. Now once I have the color panel, let me just reduce it a little. Okay, so I have the color panel here. You can keep the color panel with other panels, and here I'm going to select the colors that I'm going to use. So I'm going to take linear gradient, and I'm going to see that which colors I have here. So I can select the colors from here, whichever colors that I feel are more closer to the reference that I'm trying to make. I can readjust the colors as I like. If I want to remove any color, I can just slide it down and it will be removed. If I want to add a color, I can click here and add a color, and then again include the color that I like. Okay, and anytime I want to readjust the color placement, I can slide like this. Okay, so once I'm happy with what I've done. Okay, accidentally I removed it, so I can just add it again and select the color that I want to include. So for example, a brighter color I took this time. So once I'm done with this, now I have to create the shape to add the color to get the gradient that I've created. So this is the shape and the gradient is there in the object. So I'll just do one thing now. I'll just select this and I'll go to the properties. For now I'll just break it apart. Okay, so I can directly fill the color from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the circle and go to the picker, click here, so the color is added. Okay, now I don't need this, I can just remove this. Okay, now I can see that the color above is here is lighter and darker here, and the tone is here is more like a vertical, here it is horizontal. So I need to go to the transformation, gradient transformation tool, and rotate it like this. Okay, I can also just have a placement the way I like, and I can play with the height and the width. I will just spread it out a little to make it little look smoother. And if I want to play with this line to make it more smooth, I have to go back to the colors here. Okay, and I can play with the distance that I can have it more distance, add more distance to it, or even I'll change the color to a little uh, pinkish tone, or it doesn't match with that. So okay, let's take this is fine. I'll just rotate it a little bit more. Okay, so once I'm done with this, again I can add another tone here, which is a bit lighter tone. So I'll just add a bit lighter tone here. Okay, okay, so I can have a lighter tone down, and then now once I'm happy with this, I can just replace. So I can just group this again in the properties, just create a group, and now here anytime I want to change the color, I can double click on this and go inside the merge mode and change the color. So I'll just make it white for now, and I go back to the scene from here. Okay, and then I will just place it on this. So you can also go to arrange, bring to front, and put it here. Okay, so now press shift and select both the objects and go to align panel and make sure it is placed in the center like this. Now if you want to merge it with the little color similar to this, you can go here inside the color and go to the properties and reduce the opacity from here. So you see now it's more merged with the similar to that. So I can just increase the size with the free transformation tool, increase the size a bit. I can also go inside and just readjust the opacity a little. I don't need that much opacity, so this one is okay. Now I'll take the text tool. So to take the text tool, first I'll add another layer. This is text, and here I'm going to click on this and just say 0 1, and I'm going to reduce the size and keep it here. Okay, so once I have this, now here if I want to change the font, I can change the fonts from here. I can take another font like this, for example, a more thicker font, and here don't worry about the font style. You can take any font style you like and change the style again. You have here an option of also reducing the opacity of the text from here to create a similar style with a tone. Okay, so once you are done with this and you are happy with what you have created, you can readjust the color anytime from here as well. So let me just readjust a bit color, because obviously it's showing that line. I don't want that, so it looks better like this. So once I'm happy with this, I can just close the eye of the template, so I don't see that anymore. But now what I want to do is that I want to have this whole thing selected and keep it on one layer. So I'll just copy this whole thing, Command C copy or Control C copy, add another layer here. This is final icon. Okay, and click OK. So underscore comes with it, and then just close this eye, the previous ones, and then just go edit, placed in place. So you will get icon in one layer. Okay, so once that is done, you go and do, now I want to add a shadow here. Okay, so but for the shadow, you can see here that there is no option active that I can add filters. Okay, so like for example, I can go to the drop shadow, I can add filters. If I press click from here, I can add filters from here. Okay, so I need to add filter by pressing add. Then from here I can adjust the angle of the shadow. So I have everything selected. I have the color panel here and I have the drop shadow active. Okay, plus then I also have here option of moving the shadow from the to a little blurred edge. Plus I can also play with the distance. Okay, how much distance I want the shadow to be. And now I can also add a background here. So for example, I'll just add another layer and put it here in the back. Okay, so I'll just say background of this icon, and I'm going to take the rectangular primitive tool this time, and I'm going to place the background like this, for example. Okay, and here you can do a little thing is to remove the outlines and change the color to a darker color. Okay, so we have it like this now. So we have the icon ready.